Hello, everyone. Happy holidays. My name is Bree, and the Mahogany Cast is here. We are joined today by our fearless leader, Anne.
Hey everyone.
Our queen of all the feels, Miss Dory, is here.
Hello.
And our personal favorite Hallmark heroine, Jazzy, is here.
Hello, I'm here.
And we have two movies that we are going to be discussing today. So I'm going to really quickly bring those up. I have a lot of questions for y'all. So I was like, let's just get the housekeeping out of the way and then get right into it. So we have Christmas Every Day, which was a Lifetime movie that starred the Queen, Brandy Norwood, Debbie Morgan, and Hassani Vibez Comer. Really vague premise, but on IMDb it says follows Francine Fancy Valentine, a fashion designer who's trying to balance her career with family responsibilities. And then on Amazon Prime, we watched Tyler Perry's Finding Joy, which starred Shannon Thornton, Tosin More. I am going to completely butcher that. And then Brittany S. Hall. Another short premise: stranded in Colorado after a devastating holiday revelation, a talented but overlooked NYC designer finds unexpected love, transforming her life and career path. So, those are the two movies that we covered. Okay, so much. Let's start with Jazzy. Jazzy, which movie did you expect to love more going in? Christmas Every Day or Finding Joy?
Basing off of Miko's reaction just now, I was expecting to love Finding Joy more than I thought the Brandy one. For Christmas Every Day, and the Christmas Every Day one, unfortunately.
Okay. Okay.
For some odd reason.
Okay. Miss Anne, what about you?
I was expecting to like Christmas Every Day more than Finding Joy. But I feel like they were both like kind of different than like what I guess you said quote unquote standard Christmas movie. I felt like they both had kind of like some other things going on that you don't like always see like in these movies. So yeah.
Okay. And Miss Dory.
I thought that I would like Christmas Every Day better than Finding Joy. Um, and that was correct for me.
Okay, yeah, I have been a Hallmark stan, not Hallmark. I have been a Lifetime stan in the past. Like they have had some years, we've all discussed this before, where their movies have been pretty hits for us, and then you have years where they've been kind of misses. And I was like, oh, this is Brandy. This is going to be such a hit. So I'm with you. I think Christmas Every Day, I was expecting to like a little bit more. Um, okay. Red flags. And let's start with you. What's your personal holiday movie red flag?
Oh, holiday movie red flag is like when the whoever the main couple is, like when they like don't have that much screen time together. That's like a red
Yes.
flag. I also hate when the snow looks super, super fake. That's like
Yes. That's mine. And I hate that they always go to these cute little coffee shops and nobody ever drinks the actual hot chocolate.
It's
yeah.
because nothing is in the mugs, which is
Nothing's in
my
the
red
mug.
flag.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that is
Dory, what's your holiday red flag? Your holiday movie red flag?
My holiday movie red flag is whenever time travel is involved in these movies. Like we're going back in time. I can't do it. That is my biggest red flag.
You did not disappoint because I expected that answer for you.
Oh yeah.
What is
Oh
your
yeah.
time travel thing? Like, what is your thing with it?
I just think you get I think a lot of times you can get lost in trying to figure out how this could be possible instead of just going along for the ride. You know what I'm saying? You start picking out plot holes and you're like, well, this could never happen and this doesn't make sense. And it just takes you out of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I love the idea of time travel. I mean, we're the Mahogany Cast, so I'm always like, it's such a fantasy for me because as a Black woman, I don't want to go anywhere in the past.
I know that's right.
Oh Lord.
I don't want to, there's like nowhere, where am I going to go? Like
I know
maybe
that's
Harlem
right.
Renaissance, but even there, I'm going to be like, this is a little uncomfortable.
See, I think you'll love my TV show Timeless. Yes,
Oh, I was a Timeless fan.
girl, Timeless is my jam.
But the Black guy was always
Notice
uncomfortable.
every time. That's not. I can't do this in this time period.
Yes, he was always the one that, except for the episode with the Native Americans, and the Native American, like
He's
head
no
lady
saint.
was like, "You're fine. You didn't ask to be here." And I was like, "Finally."
Thank you.
Jazzy, what's your holiday movie red flag?
I think it's gonna be unconventional though, but I'm doing this for the girlies. I'm doing this for the Hallmark girlies, the girls who love books. If you're going to do a book based off of, doing a movie based off a book, please add the book into the movie. Like, make it as a prop so we
Oh,
can,
that's
like,
a good
oh,
idea.
like,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, that's just my pet peeve. It's like, if you're gonna do a book, like, that's just me. Like, hide that author up. Let us see the cover.
Yeah. That's a really good idea. I
Like
love
at the coffee shop, I don't care at the coffee shop that you can't drink the coffee or the cocoa with. At least have the book up. Like, oh, it's
it.
actually a real book. I'm like, yeah.
You could just like have somebody reading it at the, counter or something like that. Just show it. Yeah, that's a really good idea. I don't know why they don't do that more.
Ho, ho, ho. We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies Patreon.
Do you love Hallmarkies Podcast, especially at Christmas?
Do you enjoy the holiday previews, recaps, interviews, and bonus episodes?
If the answer is yes, please consider supporting the Hallmarkies Patreon. We need your help to do what we do both during the Christmas season and all year round.
But not only do you help a podcast led by strong, independent women by becoming a Patreon, you get to become a part of the Hallmarkies family.
Starting at only $2 a month as a patron, you will have access to our Facebook Patreon group where we talk about the movies, shows, and more all year.
We also have many monthly patron watch-alongs with guests like Lacey Chabert, Natalie Hall, Paul Campbell, Mary Lou Henner, and more, giving their behind-the-scenes details of their films.
As a patron, you also have the chance to provide input into the podcast and even join us at different tiers.
So this Christmas season, spread some cheer to the Hallmarkies Patreon and become a member today. You won't regret it.
Go to patreon.com/Hallmarkies to learn more.
That's patreon.com/Hallmarkies.
Okay, so let's start with Christmas every day. Miss Dory, what did you think about the movie? Overall, what would you say?
Overall, I will say that I was happy to see our girl Brandy. I am happy to see her all the time. And I thought it was fun that her daughter was in the movie too. I didn't love this one. I thought it was okay. Because I thought the romance was a little off for me. Or I wanted it to be more romance forward, I guess. And there was a lot of other like family stuff going on.
And she has a boyfriend the whole movie.
And she has a boyfriend the whole movie, which is talk about red flags. Like she's literally dating this guy while she has a whole boyfriend at work.
Well, it make you feel better. He was a part-time boyfriend.
Yeah, he was always at work.
Yeah.
But still, that's your man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I thought this was just okay for me personally.
Jazzy, what about you?
For me, the cast was stacked. I love that the cast was stacked with different with everybody in between. Like you have people from like TV, like from Brandy, from Debbie. Like it was just Black excellence for me as like the cast. Yes, there was a lot of things that felt like it was a more of like a Miracle of Christmas vibe from like a Hallmark stance. I thought the two boyfriends, I thought the two guys were gonna rival each other, but that wasn't the case. The fashion was on point, the music was on point, but I think we're missing something else. Something else was missing. I feel like if we didn't have like, the mom losing her eyesight or stuff like that, we just focus on like why they do the Christmas, wedding and stuff and just, X, Y, and Z. I think it would have been more better, but I feel like the boy should have been fighting more. Or he was the ex trying to come back. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. And what did you think?
Yeah, I kind of agree. I mean, I kind of agree with both of you. I feel like there was just so much going on. It was like, Brandy's storyline, then also the mom's whole storyline, then like there's a wedding that's gonna happen. Then she has this career thing. I'm like, y'all, there's just too much going on.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you're
Yeah.
just getting too many storylines in. So it was just kind of a lot. And so like we couldn't focus on the romance. But yeah, I should have said for my red flag is when they don't break up with the boyfriend at the beginning of the movie. I don't like
There
it
you
when
go.
don't like to have a boyfriend the whole movie. I'm like, just break up the boyfriend at the beginning so we can like feel, you're free and clear to, fall in love with whoever, local handyman, whoever it is. So that was kind of like, I didn't like that. But yeah, it was just so much going on. I do like to just have mostly like, just the romance storyline as like the main storyline. So yeah, it was okay for me.
I was sitting here watching it and I was like, I bet Anne hates this.
I was like, when is she gonna dump this guy? Every minute, I'm like, okay, when are you gonna dump this guy?
Because it's kind of a heavy movie. And I'm like, I know Anne during the holidays wants
Yeah.
I wanted that. I wanted something fun. And I was like, man, this is heavy. I was
Mm-hmm.
not expecting this.
I don't know. I was not expecting that either. And I was like, gosh, this mom is really going through it. And I was just like, this is, whoa.
She's seeing her dead husband in
I know.
the
I was like, this is all
Wild. That
movie.
was wild.
You know what? Shout out to Debbie. Shout out to Debbie. She is the queen of like movies and soap operas. Like her, I was telling Rachel this too. I was like, yes, like she's like more like in that theater moment though. But if you look at her resume, you understand why her acting is over the top. Not over the top, but where it was with her breakdowns and stuff. I'm like, baby, she was giving it. She was giving her all in this role.
She was giving us soap opera for sure.
That's why we love you on All My Children's.
And she
We
was
love
like
Yes.
definitely the matchmaking mom too, which was that to me was like the funny
you.
moment.
Yes.
It's like you're clearly being messy here.
Because she knew.
Yeah.
Because she knew.
He was bad news. I mean, yeah, he was not good. Her actual boyfriend, the whole movie, he was not good.
He wasn't good. Yeah. I mean, okay, so maybe we've already answered it. I don't know. But what did you think about we know Fancy has her boyfriend, but the romance is with Jalen. And what did you think about the romance? Like what did you think? What did it need more of? Rewrite the script. What would you have done?
I would have broke up with the boyfriend in the beginning of the movie. And then like I would have let them have, I don't know, I would have had them have like more, I don't know what they could have done together, but do like more together. Um,
Mhm.
and just, being able to like be unattached and be like, oh yeah, like let's do that. And not have to be like, oh no, you can't kiss me because I have a whole boyfriend who's about to be here in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
At the end of the movie. Oh my gosh, this is so weird. So yeah, I kind of just wish it could be more romantic and she could be unattached so they could like, so because it's like I couldn't even go there because I just was like, this is just not, like I don't feel like this is okay. So yeah, that was just too much for me.
What about you, Jazzy? What did you think of the romance between Fancy and Jalen?
I agree with Anne. Like, I wish that the boyfriend was not in the picture per se, where he just popped up later on, like trying to win her back or something like that. But I love their meet cute and stuff like that. Just them like trying to get to know each other, how to do different things. Like it was building up, like kind of a slow burn, just building up, like from friendship, kind of like the setup to like that's how I was feeling in that moment. Like that's why I had a whole tear, like when the whole thing was happening underneath the little like lights and stuff. But I want to give a shout out to to Robert Reilly, aka Dr. Carlton and Fitzgerald. By day, he is a doctor over at on my favorite soap opera, Beyond no, Beyond the Gates. Just saying. Over here trying to win Nicole's heart, even though he's partners with her ex-husband Teddy Richardson, and you can't cover his wife, but at the same time you had a whole baby with Leslie that you didn't know about.
This is
Oh
so soap
my.
opera.
Yes, y'all.
Soap opera.
I got y'all.
Oh my gosh. Dory, Francine, and Jalen's romance. What do you think?
I agree with both Jazzy and Anne. I think it would have been nice to kind of see them. I mean, I just wanted the romance to be front and center and instead they had a lot of other stuff going on. So I would have been more focused in on their relationship. Definitely would have gotten rid of the boyfriend or not even had him in the picture. Like there was so much other stuff going on. I feel like you don't even need that storyline. Because I would have liked to see a little bit more building up their romantic chemistry. Because at the beginning, they're kind of fighting. Like, they're not really, they're kind of going at each other a little bit. So I would have liked to see more of them kind of resolving their issues and then kind of building up the relationship throughout the movie.
Mm-hmm. What I find interesting now that I think about it, and we've all watched both movies, is how, in a way, like there are a few similarities. Like both of our main characters are these fashion designers.
Yes.
There's like two men, possibly. Like our next movie, it completely goes left. But I think the men represent two different things for them. Like with Fancy, the boyfriend represents like what she's been striving towards. Like, okay, we're both this idea of like the power couple. And then Jalen comes in and she starts to really, he represents kind of the question in the back of her mind of like, is that what it's all about? And is that what I'm going to settle for? And is that what I want? So like, I hated it. I just hate when we have the boyfriend there for the sake of like, I guess, extra conflict or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like Anne said, you mentally can't even, like her and Jalen do some really cute romantic things together, but you can't mentally like go along with it because you're like, well, she has a boyfriend looming in the background somewhere. And it's just so hard to like.
I mean, they almost kiss.
Right. They almost
They should have kissed.
And it's like, I don't really know how I feel about this because she was taken by somebody else up until 5 minutes ago. This when Jazzy and I recorded the other day with Rachel, like whoever's writing these movies, they're clearly on like the single girl side of Instagram threads. I feel like whoever wrote this, it's like a character study in being the oldest daughter.
Yeah, for sure.
That's really how this felt. And as the oldest daughter, I was like, I feel so seen. Like, is that going to be me the next couple of years?
For sure. She's like, yeah, I want a wedding dress in the next week. Can you make it on top of your full-time job?
Yeah.
Sure.
Never mind that I'm like also in competition with, a guy at work for the promotion. Like, I got you.
Right. He was giving me life, by the way. He was giving me life.
Do we think Fancy's struggle was really about time, boundaries, or people pleasing? Let's talk her as a character. Jazzy, what did you think? What was her struggle really about?
I was gonna say people pleasing for some odd reason. Like people pleasing. Like I feel like she had to like please everybody.
Yeah.
Like she could have told her sister, no, I'm not making your dress. Or, doing X, Y, and Z, or no to this, or telling her boyfriend, who's a part-time boyfriend. We're calling it the part-time boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I had to say it. But she kept trying to please people, but doesn't put her foot down on things that she wants or things that she needs to say out loud. Like she has to go with the flow and everything. Like she has no agency. She acting like she's Terry from Soul Food. Go get your agency back.
Agency back. Yeah. Anne, what did you think? What's Fancy's struggle? Time, boundaries, people pleasing.
I actually think it's like the fact that, like she mentioned, she grew up and they didn't like have a lot of money. I think, and if she felt the solution to that is I'll just make sure I always have a lot of money since, my parents didn't, and that was kind of a struggle. And I kind of saw how that went. And so that kind of led into, I have to make a lot of money and I want the person I'm with to make a lot of money and the whole power couple thing. And so I kind of think it was like, some of it was like that, like kind of like what she grew up as a child. She wanted to not have that same thing in her life.
That's so true.
Happens.
What do you think, Dory?
I mean, I think her problems were all of the above: time, boundaries, and people pleasing.
Okay, yes.
All the feels. Tell it, Dory.
All of it was an issue. I mean, The people pleasing for sure. I think that there was also a lot of her doing what she thought she should do instead of what she wants to do, which is a real struggle. And she kind of wants to like live up to the expectations of everyone around her. So people pleasing was an issue for sure. But then also boundaries, like boundaries at work. Her boss was crazy, putting a lot of pressure and stress onto her shoulders. So I think she needed boundaries there and boundaries within the family. Like the whole wedding dress thing was wild. And they always just expected her to come through for them. And then time, I think, is something that we all struggle with. She's worrying about, is it too late in my career to kind of jump and do something different? And also time in the sense of she just was literally on a short timeline with her family. Like her mom's losing her eyesight. They got to plan this wedding in just a few weeks. Like they're trying to get this house together. So I think that she had all three of those issues kind of playing together.
Yeah, for sure. Mm. I I totally agree. I think that like the people pleasing drove me nuts. I would have been like, girl, you want to get married in 3 weeks and you expect me to make you a dress?
Absolutely crazy. I was like, what?
No. Clearly the difference between oldest and youngest child, because the youngest child is just the younger sister is just like, you can do it, right? It's no problem.
2 weeks
Sure,
ago,
girl.
whole wedding dress?
um, how realistic did the movie feel in showing the pressure women face to do it all, especially during the holidays? What did you think, Dory?
Yeah, I thought it felt pretty true to how a lot of women feel around the holidays, trying to take care of families, take care of work. And it can actually, I find that it can actually be hard to enjoy the holidays sometimes when you're feeling pulled in all those different directions, trying to take care of everybody else and not making time for yourself and what you love and what you want. Um, I mean, I feel like that's a year-round struggle, but especially at the holidays, it's hard.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think?
Yeah, actually, I thought I agree with her. I think they did a pretty good job because I know at the holidays it's always like, oh, but can you make our favorite meal and our favorite dessert? And what about those cookies you always make or that whatever? So it's a lot of like having to do stuff on top of all the work you're already doing just as a working person, like all the family events and like maybe making food or like something for all like those events. And they were asking and expecting her like to do a lot and to be at a lot and everything. And yeah, I feel like at the holidays it's just kind of like it's like turned up the volume on everything. Just because there's so much going on and so much to be present kind of at, which I guess they seem like they were, trying to do that. Plus a wedding. So yeah.
The wedding drove me nuts. Jazzy, what did you think?
No, I definitely agree. Like it showed. Like literally, I'm looking at myself. I'm like, man, this house is a mess right now. Like I need to clean. I gotta do this, but I have to do all these other obligations during the holiday season. So I'm like, it definitely in the movie predict that and the pressures of like shopping to the dates to getting married or the traditions that we're supposed to have if we're engaged and like a lot of that is stressful and you don't have no me time. You don't. I'm about to rewatch, Single on the 25th again because I need some clarity.
Yeah. So let's move on to our next movie. So we also watched Tyler Perry's Finding Joy. I'm not sure, is this one of his first holiday movies? Have I missed something? It's been a long time since I've watched.
Second holiday movie.
This is a second. Okay. Overall, what did you think of this movie? And let's start with you.
This movie took us on a ride and I was not ready.
Girl, you said a lot right there.
Made no sense at all.
So yeah, I definitely a curveball was thrown and I was like, whoa, okay, never seen this before. This is new. So that was definitely different. Definitely points for being different. That's for sure. But yeah, I don't know. I was like, okay, I gotta just go with this because I'm totally lost. But no, I did like the main character, like and her friends. The story was kind of crazy. But I did like those characters, just as, the people that they were. But yeah, I don't really know what to say. It was just like, it was just so different. I was just very shocked.
Mhm, mhm. Jazzy, what did you think?
Um, for Finding Joy, I need to address this. The parents of this movie, Finding Joy, the parents of this movie is Medea's Christmas and Why Did I Get Married, had a baby, and this is what the movie is. Finding Joy. If you
Okay,
watch
that's
this
what
movie,
I was like. The last Tyler Perry movie I remember watching is Why Did I Get Married? That's how long it's been. And I
and
remember loving that movie.
oh
So
yes, of course. Okay, she lived up that mountain, and she got her a Troy. She sure did. I don't know why I didn't find one, but we'll go. I'll go up another mountain to do that one. But um, I just feel as though I feel like someone just read someone just read a romance book and just like, I'm gonna write the black version of it. And I just love these two actors. Not well, first time I'm actually introduced to these two actors. Probably seen them on other shows maybe and stuff like that, but they could have been in a whole different movie. I like their chemistry. I can see that like them playing in a Beverly Jenkins historic romance movies, like her books. I can see them in that, and that's why I felt so bad. I'm like, they could be somewhere in a whole different caliber of romance for black romance in that sense. But for it was a hot mess. It was just like you really were watching a Medea movie. That what it was. Of Tyler Perry production. That what it was. And you know how Tyler Perry rolls. And it was wild, it was crazy. And so much stuff was added in there. Like, we didn't need all that in there. We need to talk about why we finding joy. Did we even find the premise of the title? Did we find the joy?
I guess he found her when he pulled her out that lake.
Okay, I thought it was a Little Mermaid situation. I was like, what in the, I was at the group chat. I was like, what in the Little Mermaid is going on?
Dory,
I was like, wait, this is taking a dark turn. I was like,
I messaged Dory when I finished. Dory finished before me last night. And I said, I'm so jealous because I still have 52 minutes. Dory, miss all the feels. How did you feel about it?
I mean, Tyler Perry was really Tyler Perrying in this movie.
It
It was out of control. Like, this movie was so crazy and ridiculous when she jumped out the window to get out of those people's house.
that was the first crazy thing.
I was like, what? As soon as that happened, I was like, what is this movie? What is happening right
Who
now?
on the second floor, sis? I would have broke my ankle. This would have been a whole like Nightmare for a Christmas situation. Me sewing myself up like Sally did. Like, what's going on?
Okay, two things. For context, when our heroine, I don't know why I thought she was in Atlanta, but she lives in New York City. She has a crush. The crush invites her to his family home in Colorado. She's thinking he's about to either like ask her to be his girlfriend, propose to her, or something like that. She gets to his family's home, and that's where he asks her to be the best man slash woman at his wedding, and his fiance is there, so she's heartbroken. That's why she's jumping out the window. And then Jazzy, you mentioned romance novels, like they kept saying that she loves romance. That was where did they find that romance novel that they kept showing?
That made me mad
this is
because
the worst looking romance novel
that made me
ever.
so mad. And the fact that matters, I love the fact that he added some black. Like the music was fire in this movie. By the way, the music was excellent. I'm glad he added, my group War and Treaty in there. But the fact that you could add a black romance
You couldn't
author
reach out to
into
Queen
that.
Beverly Jenkins and be like,
Yes.
can I please put indigo in my
Thank you.
movie?
Thank you. I'm sitting here like we had a lot of books by Beverly Jenkins that you could add, and those two characters, those actors. 'Cause I kept looking at her the first time. It's like she is so gorgeous. Like you're beautiful, and then the guy was like you're beautiful. Like they could have so been in a Beverly Jenkins universe. Like if you guys don't know, Beverly Jenkins, she is an historic Black romance author. She's been in the game for over 30 years, still touring, still writing. And before y'all say, oh yeah, we got Bridgerton, like she was there before Bridgerton, you guys, for the Black community. And y'all need to cop her books, buy her books, read them online. I don't care where you get them. She does book tours. I'm gonna get to my book tour one day to have her sign my books. But her writing, she talking about the Black Cowboy. She does a lot of research when it comes to Black romance, historic history that is tied into her books. And the fact that he was talking about the Black Cowboy and stuff, she talks about that in her books as well. And the fact that these two actors could have been in a great Beverly Jenkins movie, and it needs to be written, it needs to be done. I know she did one for sure, but come on, you guys. We have the books and we have the author still present. We can do this.
Contemporary series called her Blessing series, and the characters in
Yes.
the series are all the descendants of the people in her historical romances, which is super sweet. So like they never go away. But yeah, I was like, what is happening? So okay.
I'd like to take a second to thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's Uncommon Goods. The countdown is on. Holiday shopping season is officially here. Uncommon Goods takes the stress out of gifting with thousands of unique, high-quality finds you won't see anywhere else. Don't wait. The most meaningful gifts get scooped up fast, and now is the perfect time to cross names off your list. What I really liked when I looked at their website is that you can go to the exact category of the person that you're shopping for. So you can look for gifts for women. And then in particular, they have a whole section for moms, for grandmas, for wives, for teenagers. And within each of those categories, there's all these creative ideas. And I had a lot of fun looking at the teen category. I have some nieces and different things that, would be fun to shop for. And I love the creativity in so many of the gifts. You've got create your own reel viewers. You've got a photo and label printer. I definitely think there is something for everybody, and it's worth checking out their site. And it's also nice that when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. Many of their handcrafted products are made in small batches, so shop now before they sell out this holiday season. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give back $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3.1 million to date. So don't wait. Cross those names off your list before the rush. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/Hallmarkies. That's uncommongoods.com/Hallmarkies for 15% off. Uncommon Goods. We're all out of the ordinary.
First impressions of Joy. Did y'all root for her right away, or did you want to shake her a little? Jazzy, how did you feel about Joy in the beginning?
All three above. I wanted to shake her. The first 5 minutes, I'm gonna throw the whole movie away with Patrick talking about
when he talked about her hair.
Yes, I was thinking like, Tyler, really? Like it made me so mad. I almost got in Utah like, what are we watching? Why did I vote for this? Like this was not okay. Especially as women, like it's bad enough we could talk about how we look, our hair, everything. Like, but the fact you had someone who is a minority as well talking down on another sister, I'm like, oh no. And
yeah, I think that like growing up, I was always told that that's like an unwritten rule. Like you don't come for nobody's hair. If you're gonna roast, you don't come for nobody's hair.
Period.
So when he did that, I was like, oh, I almost turned it off.
Girl.
Anne, what did you think? What did you think of Joy in the beginning?
Yeah, I definitely was like, okay, like this dude is like, he doesn't respect you. He's not a good person. Like, why are you working with him? I didn't, at that point, the first 5 minutes, I didn't like realize, what was going on with, the other guy. I didn't realize like, oh, like he has this whole other fiance and everything. So I was like, oh, okay, she's just really into him because like, maybe they just got together or something. But then as soon as she was as soon as they were at the house in Colorado, I was like, oh, you gotta get as far away, which I guess that's what she tried to do, get as far away as possible. But I was like, oh no, this is not okay. So yeah, I kind of wanted to shake her. I was like, okay, you gotta, find a good guy and yeah, get out of this job and yeah, work for somewhere where they'll respect you and you can, do what you're trying to do.
Dory, give us your character analysis on Joy. Initial thoughts.
I mean, I wanted to shake her a little, or a lot. She was, I felt the same. I was like, you have painted yourself into this horrible box, like with this guy who treats you like crap as your boss. You have this awkward relationship with this guy. Like, she never knew where she stood with this guy to begin with, and then was cool with going to his house in Colorado. I thought that was so weird. Um, yeah, I wanted to shake her. I was like, girl, get it
We're not
together.
doing that.
I
Yes.
wasn't gonna lie. I thought the Colton guy was gay because the way he was like blowing the kisses and catching the kisses, I was like, oh, maybe that would be a shake of like, oh, he's gay. But then when I saw the girl Heather, I was like, oh no, they're together. They ain't no sister. That's not his sister.
Girl, when they couldn't get a hold of her and her homegirls were just like, oh, he done killed her. We gotta go. We gotta find her where she is. I was like, this is the most realistic part of the beginning of this movie. um, let's see. So let's talk about well, we already talked about a little bit about her boss, who we learn has been really like stealing her designs the whole time. How did
Mm-hmm.
you feel watching her boss kind of overshadow her talent? I mean, this is our second main character as a fashion designer storyline that we had to watch, which I think is so interesting. Brandy's wasn't like this. It was more of a competition thing. Who's going to take over for the boss? But this guy's just like treating her like crap. And I think it's, I don't know, like a manipulation tactic because he's also been using her stuff. But what did you think about that aspect? Was it needed? Like, what did you think? Dory, what did you think?
First of all, his name makes me laugh, Patrick.
Patrick.
Um, I think the career stuff was interesting. I felt bad for her that she was being treated so horribly, but also was wondering why she was kind of staying in the situation. I mean, if your boss is stealing your designs, and she was like defending him, I don't know. I think that um, there was a lot, speaking of a lot going on in the other movie we watched, there was a lot happening in this movie too. And the career stuff kind of came back at the end, which I thought I'm glad they kind of tied it up and closed that loop. But to be honest, I could have done without that storyline.
Yeah. Anne, what did you think?
Yeah, I just felt so bad for her. I was like, you can't let someone else like take credit for your stuff. Like that's just like never okay, no matter what. Like it's not okay. And I just wish she kind of would have stood up for herself like sooner and kind of just said like what he was doing because it's like he's literally taking your stuff and putting his name on it. Which is just horrible. So I wish she would have stood up sooner. I mean, yeah, I was fine. Like I could have done without it, the career stuff. I loved at the end when the guy called him Patrick. I was dying.
Yes.
That part was good.
Yeah, and I'm like Dory. I like that they tied it up and like it ended up she's gonna get her own line and everything. But yeah, he was horrible. He was just an ass.
What'd you think, Jazzy girl?
Um, this not saying it a sour note, but this happens every day to a lot of designers and people who created different things. Like literally, was it the other day? I just found out a black I forgot her name though, but she created the wrap ups for Spotify. And like 2 years ago, that's why we have the Spotify wrap ups of like our top, songs or people we listen to. She created that and then Spotify, I guess, quote unquote, took it or stole the idea because she was an intern. And this thing's happened, but I felt like she lost her worth and about her design, about everything within herself, and allowing people to mistreat her, talk to her down that way, that he will ruin her in the fashion industry. It's like I understand, like you're trying to get your name out there, you're trying to like be not quote unquote submissive, like, during the grind, like this is my career, but at what cost?
Yeah.
Like, you allow someone to take your ideas, do X, Y, and Z. Where's your integrity in that? And I feel like she lost her integrity, and I feel as though like I feel like was part of her character that needed to be developed. Like, why does this stem from that? Why are you allowing people to walk over you? Why you had no voice, no agency? And I know she mentioned in the movie that she was in foster care, and that could have been the idea where she's talking about, oh, he needs therapy, that Ridge needs therapy, but yet you still haven't dealt with your own trauma of why you are allowing people to take your ideas, take all these different things. And before you can show a lens on somebody else's life, then look inside yourself like, hey, I can't talk about anybody else, but let me look into my closet, let me look into my heart and be like, hey, I'm going through some traumas and some things. But for me, yes, that was kind of needed for the story, but I feel like she hasn't faced those confidence or those issues. That's how I feel. I feel like she didn't have resolution to her issues that she was dealing with her confidence about owning her pieces. Like, she will allow someone walk over her and get herself out there and have someone else's name on that. I didn't appreciate that.
I
And
think it's interesting that Tyler Perry went that route. And I'm glad you brought all that up, Jazzy, because I feel like we all know the big trials and things that are happening right now. I did watch the Diddy documentary last weekend. I could not stop watching it. And that's something that I see people online talking about a lot. Like, oh, you should have knew better, And I'm like, but we don't know what it's like to like trying to break into an industry like that. And I guess for Joy, I was like, she probably entered this at a young age and just felt like, okay, I got to let this happen because he's promising me kind of like, artists were promised, oh, your album's going to be next. She was promised, like, you're going to have your own line one day. Just stick with me, So I don't know. I thought, like, while it wasn't needed, at the end of it, I was like, man, like, is he really like going there with this storyline? Or am I reading too much into it kind of thing?
You're not reading too much into it.
I don't know. I hope it was nothing. But I was like, man, like, is he talking about something here? Because, everybody, I'm a Cassie lover. I love Cassie. And people are like, well, she should have known. And I'm like, well, you don't know what it's like to have somebody promise you, your album's going to be great and you're going to make millions and billions of dollars. Like, especially if you're young, you're going to be like, okay, well, what do I need to do? So I felt like maybe that was Joy. She had just become so accustomed to letting this guy overshadow her because he promised. She's in the business and she knows, like, he was like, you're never going to work in this business again. I'm like, I'm assuming as a fashion designer, you don't want to hear that. I don't know. So let's compare Colton. Colton was the crush and Ridge. What do you think they each represented in Joy's life, Jazzy?
Oh, I'm going first. Okay. For me, well, as I'm looking at it, for Colton's standpoint, she's looking at security. She's looking at, oh, I'm gonna be lying down, like kind of like what she expects from her romance novels. And he's showing up doing all the different things versus Ridge, who is the opposite. Like, he's country, he's home down, like he's out in the wilderness. Like, that's the opposite. She's looking for more of a New York swag of a love interest versus the cabin in the hometown situation. And I just need to know what books that Joy was reading, because she must never know nothing about no man in a cabin, because the man in the cabins, those are the ones you need to be looking for. Okay.
Oh my gosh. And what did you think? What did Colton and Ridge?
I mean, honestly, like, I don't know what she saw in the Colton guy. I was like, why was she like so obsessed with him? I don't know. I guess because we found out he was so horrible, but I don't really know what she wanted. I mean, I guess she wanted, someone who, like Jasmine said, kind of like some New York guy who could kind of, they could kind of be some New York money-making couple or something. I don't really know. So I don't even know what he did, but for Ridge, I think he was definitely like, down to earth, Colorado country boy. And he cared about like stuff that actually mattered versus like all of this like superficial, stuff. But as far as like what they represent, like to her, like I'm not really that sure.
Yeah.
They're definitely like totally different. I mean, very opposite personalities and everything, races, I mean, just very different. Like it's just completely. But yeah, I was here for Ridge's like hot black lumberjack thing he had going on. So
We had a shower scene.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Yes.
I was like, this is why Lifetime or Hallmark passed up on this.
that's spicy in that cabin.
Goodness. Dory, what'd you think?
I'm wondering if Colton kind of represented her chasing things that weren't meant for her. Because he never really indicated that he wanted to be with her. Like they were talking about it the whole beginning of the movie, how he like never kissed her, or when he kissed her, he just kissed her on the head, and like it just was pretty clear that they weren't in a relationship, but she was still chasing that. And she was chasing this man who clearly wasn't for her. And it was almost like it's the same thing with the career. Like she's chasing these things that aren't meant for her. Like she is destined for better. And I think Ridge kind of represents more of freedom and kind of self-reliance, and that's where she kind of ends up at the end of the movie. Like she has her own line now and she's kind of more self-assured. So I think they kind of correlate with the career storyline.
I'm gonna touch on that too because even though after she got found and stuff, there was no communication with Colton and with Joy. Like that what was missing was the communication, the lack of communication at that. Because after she get found and stuff, there was no sitting down with Colton and Heather like, hey, I didn't know about this. Like the friends had to tell him about what happened, and like they should have had that face of like I should have been upfront like, hey, that we were friends and I do like he was dropping the hints, but there were no communication about that. And that was missing in Joy's life. Like she had no the agency, but also the communication when it involves, what she needs to know or what she needs to hear. That's just me.
Yeah. What did y'all think about her friends? What did we think about the homegirls?
I like them. They were funny.
Yeah. I put in the group chat, I was like, I'm just in it for the homegirls at this point.
Girl, I saw that. I was like, they are wild. I'm thinking here like they act like they were Medea and Bam. That what it was. That whole
their little
scenes were Bam and Medea.
When they were smoking their little joints on the phone with the police officer
and talking about it, he's like, I can hear you.
The whole time with the phone.
And then the one girl's like, hang up.
I know. That was crazy.
He's like, girl, he's in Colorado. What's he going to do to us?
I'd like to take a second to thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the good folks over at Aura Frames. And Aura Frames is the hidden gem that becomes the favorite gift long after the wrapping paper is gone. Did someone give you a really great gift last year? Something that has stayed with you, that you have really enjoyed? Well, that's what you can give to a loved one in your life with an Aura digital frame. There is something special about the fact that not only can you personalize the Aura frame, when you give it to them, you can upload the photos so that they're there when you give it to them, but you can continually update it throughout the year. It's very, very, very fun. You have unlimited free photos and video. All you have to do is download the Aura app and connect to Wi-Fi. You can personalize the gift with a message before it arrives. You can share photos and videos effortlessly straight from your phone, so you can have multiple people that we're sharing to the frame. Don't wait. Win the holidays now with Aura Frames. For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames, named #1 by Wirecutter, by using promo code Hallmarkies at checkout. That's auraframes.com, auraframes.com, promo code Hallmarkies. This deal is exclusive to listeners and frames sell out fast, so order yours now To get it in time for the holidays, support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
They were doing all this while like in the clouds. I'm sitting here to myself like, please, y'all, if something happens to me, like in this scenario, please be sober.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Let's see what else I got. The romance with Ridge. So Ridge, for context, everybody, what we think we lost Joy. She's in Colorado. She's trying to get back to New York. She's jumped out the window. She's rented a car. Everybody's told her like this car is not meant to drive in the snow, but Joy, being stubborn and determined to get out of there because she's heartbroken, gets this little, like, I don't know, Mini Cooper looking car, ends up on a lake, not knowing, but the car sinks. We think she drowns. I was sitting there like, what is happening?
I was literally like, I literally don't know what's gonna happen.
I have no idea. Right. And then she wakes up on a couch under some covers, or on a bed under some covers. And Ridge, the hero, I guess he was out there doing some hunting and he rescued her. So when it comes to Ridge, was the romance, was it about love or about Joy finally seeing her own worth? Like, what did you feel about that, Dory?
I think it was both. I think they kind of went hand in hand. I think that, can we talk about how, first of all, this man saved her life and she was such a brat to him?
Thank you. I was ready to say
first?
that.
Say it. Yeah.
It drove me crazy. She was so rude. Didn't she call him weird or something?
Yes.
I'm like, this man saved your life. You would be dead.
Yeah. And you'd be freezing just trying to save them. You would freeze yourself. I mean, you could almost die. I mean, if you fall in too, I mean.
Exactly. Like, he could have died trying to save her. And she was such a brat. But I think that kind of as they fell in love, she kind of realized also her worth at the same time. And I think they kind of, she needed that experience with him to kind of find that kind of self-confidence and self-worth, and kind of reevaluate her decisions. I mean, I think you can't have an experience like that where you almost die, then spend a week basically falling in love with someone and have it not change you. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it was about both. It was about them it was about both. It was about them falling in love, but also her kind of coming into her own, and him too.
Yeah. What do you think, Anne?
Yeah, I thought like she was kind of like finding her self-worth, but also like it was the first time, I guess, she kind of said that like someone was actually, the other person actually felt the same way. And so she was actually kind of finding her self-worth, but also feeling what it's like to be loved by somebody, which is, a super special feeling. So I think it was kind of like Dor says, kind of both, since she was also like feeling like his love, which she said she kept kind of chasing people and no one ever felt the same.
Mm-hmm. Jazzy, what do you think?
Justice for Ridge. Like the way she treated him, talked about him and stuff like that, it was just like, girl, that was not it. That man saved your life in the water, okay? Lost his coat that his mother gave him before she passed. And you're treating him like crap. I'm like, ma'am, like you hopped out that window because you did have the communication with homeboy, and it was just like this man is going through a lot. Like I don't think she was going through a lot though, but not knowing like the stranger that saved you is going through a lot as well. Why he out here in the middle of nowhere? And I just felt bad for the first half of that week for him. Like he's trying to be cordial, he's trying to do all the different things, trying to help her out. And I understand like you're afraid of new people and stuff. I get that. And that stems, I was talking about earlier, it stems to the trauma that she has faced in foster care, going through different homes, how she was treated, and how she couldn't find the joy in the things. But like what you lady said, like they both were finding that joy. But I feel like I feel like Joy didn't really find all the joy that I thought she would find in this movie, that I thought she would. I had a different perspective on that. But I know for Rich, he found joy and peace that he needed in order to move on and be able to be with his family, understand why he was with his family for the past 2 years for Christmases and other holidays and that such. But the fact that he broke her walls down, even though he was going through his thing, but she had kind of like a reality go, you have no services, you have nothing. Like you gotta deal with your issues. That's just me.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so our wrap-up question. If you could rewrite the ending of either movie, which one would you pick and what would you change? And which one would you fix?
So I would do Finding Joy only because I was kind of confused at the end of the movie. Like, you guys let me know if you got this, something I didn't get. But I was like, okay, I'm confused. Like, so where are you guys gonna live? How's this gonna work? And I know like maybe I should just not care. They're riding off in the sunset and I should not care. But I kind of really wanted to know like what the whole situation was gonna be. Like,
Me too.
I,
Yeah.
I need to know.
Definitely.
Maybe shouldn't want to, but I want to know like what's the situation with who's living where and like how is this working? So that would be me.
What about you, Jazzy?
I definitely agree. Them getting married, we don't know if it was like a whole year later or not. Honestly, I feel like it was a summertime wedding. Like, honestly, I would have had a New Year's Day wedding to honor like his mom, Joy, but that's just me. I feel as though like them living in two different parts of the world. I thought she would move back to, go to Colorado and open her own shop and stuff and be able to do something like that or partner with like the natives and do that type of thing or have like a joy line honor his mom. Like in those things, like there's no, like I said, there was no communicate. Like he communicated though, but their communication was definitely off. It would definitely been totally different. Like I thought it was very rushed just to wrap everything up. It wasn't like, that whole week. There was no like I even see Colton them at the wedding. Like I want to know was there like, clear communication with that. And for me, I want others to hear her voice talking at the end, like, did I find joy? Did I do it like XYZ? Like, yeah, that week was crazy though, but I did find joy. We both found joy. I want to hear like a playback. Like I'm watching the Watch to Remember. And Landon walking on the bridge. I start crying, and I hear Mandy Moore start singing, "I'll always remember," and I start crying.
Oh gosh.
So I'll be crying with joy, though. Get it? Finding joy.
Oh my gosh. Dory, which one are you choosing and how are you fixing it?
I mean, I'm with Jazzy and Anne. I feel like the wedding part of Finding Joy was kind of unnecessary. Like
Okay.
they there are a lot of unanswered questions because they're getting married. I think it would have been more acceptable if they weren't getting married and you kind of don't know, like, is she going to move? Is she not going to move? I think if it just ended with them, like, I don't know, spending the holidays together. That was the other thing about this movie. It wasn't very holiday,
No,
like
Yeah.
there
not at
wasn't a
all.
whole lot of holiday, a lot of Christmas going on. You see that Colton's house is decorated for the holidays, but she ain't there long.
Yeah.
And so I I I mean, it would have been nice, I guess, to wrap it up and have them like spending Christmas together or something just to emphasize that this was, I mean, was this marketed as a holiday movie? Was it, I mean,
It was kind of marketed as a holiday movie. Like even the cabinet even had no Christmas stuff. Like he could have found like a box and decorated a little bit for holiday. She didn't even have no holiday spirit. So it was just like, what the point of this movie? What holiday spirit?
yeah, it wasn't giving like a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
So I would
It-
have used the ending to try and emphasize
Bring the
that a little
families
bit.
together.
Something, yeah.
yeah, on IMDb it says devastating holiday revelation. I guess we're supposed to just take all the snow and all of that and be like, oh, it's Christmas, but you keep hitting us over the head with the fact that it's set in Colorado.
I wanted
Yeah.
a Colorado Christmas.
And one more thing, I feel like, do you guys feel like we didn't know enough about Ridge? Like, did they ever talk about, does he have a job? Like,
What did he
friends?
do? Yeah.
Oh, they never
No
Um,
Colton though.
what his job or yeah, I don't know.
like we just didn't know a lot about him. And I thought that that was an interesting choice. Like, does he live? I don't think he lives in that cabin year round. Where does he live the rest of the year? Like, he's not, I don't think he's out there 24/7.
No, he's not. The only thing I got from the when his conversations with Joy was that even at the end of the movie too, like I'll be gone a couple of months out the year, that way I don't have relationships. I'm at the cabin during like the family holiday times because the dad married 6 months after the mom passed away, and he has two brothers. Um, but other than that, we didn't get nothing about his work history or anything of that nature. I know he hunts. I know he gonna provide for me. I said he gonna provide for me, Joy.
Okay,
But
so
anyways,
after I pulled up the premise, I was like, oh, I have to look at some of these reviews. So this one I forgot to mention. This drove me nuts. The main character falls in a frozen lake with her car, and after she wakes up in a cottage in the woods, her makeup is intact. That drove me nuts. And the fact that, okay, her hair was all
Her hair,
pretty and flowy
perfect.
before she
I'm
falls
gonna
in
need
the
that.
water, and then she wakes up and it's like gorgeous and curly. And I'm like, I would look
Wavy.
like the bottom of a
Mhm.
mop that's been sitting in the garage for 6 months.
I know.
Pull me out
I
the
need them
water.
curls to activate. I'm gonna need them be a tight curl. It was giving like tomorrow. This is my real hair, girl.
Yeah.
Those are the bundles that get
And then
wet.
they say she wakes up in a bed naked, covered in a fur blanket. But when she panics and runs out, she has boots on because obviously the guy living in a cottage in the mountains has new boots exactly her size. Who writes scripts like that? That they're a real one for that. Because I was like, girl, you look gorgeous after almost dying in frozen water.
Okay.
I know. And the clothes fit her perfectly. Like she looked cute in all of the outfits. I was
Oh, she
like
sure did.
suspicious.
But
Oh my
she was
gosh.
beautiful. That's all I gotta say. I'm like, she was gorgeous. Like I keep not like she was beautiful. I'm like, you're so beautiful. Like, why are you not in other movies or anything? But like I said, for these two actors, like I like somewhat their chemistry, but I feel like they need to be in a whole different like movie, a whole different body of work that's been done. Like I said, Beverly Jenkins, a perfect example for them to be in.
Yeah.
Like especially that little shower scene. He definitely could fit into a Beverly Jenkins novels.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we got to do better, Mr. Perry. If you're listening to this.
That's a
Like,
story.
we love your work, by the way. I have all your the plays on my shelf as we speak.
All right, well, that is all of our questions and our thoughts on these two movies. If you watched Christmas Every Day or Mr. Tyler Perry's Finding Joy, hit us up. Let us know what you thought. I feel like our whole time, our lore as the Mahogany Cast has been us watching movies and being disappointed.
I know. It's such a bummer.
Yeah.
Right? Hey, that
After
George Martin
watching
movie was
these
good though.
two, after watching these two, I was just like, I was so disappointed because I was like, why can't people of color have the really fun and whimsical scripts? Like, Christmas Every Day just felt super heavy, kind of sad. And I'm like, this is Brandy. This is Mo. My daughter walked in. She's, oh my gosh, that's Moesha.
That's so cute.
And I'm like, why can't she have a fun script? And then watching this one, I was like, what the heck is going on? Like, make it fun, make it whimsical. Black women of color deserve that. Okay,
No.
deserve that. I was
I
just let
know.
down.
In both these movies, they got the weight of the world on their shoulders. It is so
They sure
hard.
do.
We want to escape. We want the fantasy too. So we
Yeah.
got to do better. I don't know. So yeah, that's all of our thoughts. Anne, will you take us out? Should we all share where we can be found first or something? I don't
Yeah.
know.
You can
Okay.
start. Where can we follow you?
I am occasionally online at Bree Unabashedly on Instagram. I'm mostly just reposting funny memes at this point, but I'm there.
No, you be at the coffee shop. Don't play.
Once a week I try to get out and post something to let everybody know that I'm alive, but mostly I'm just reposting memes. But catch up with me. Tell me how you're doing.
And what about you, Jasmine? Where can people follow you?
You can find me and your favorite nephew Miko at Instagram and on Twitter. I need to do better on Twitter, but Instagram for sure, at Shireen16, SHREEM16, while I reread this amazing book that I found last week. I read a Christmas book, you guys. It is not a werewolf one either, even though I'm reading a bear one
Oh
slowly.
my God.
But
Did you say you're
yes,
reading a bear one?
yeah, I'll talk about that one later.
The
What I
bear
found.
shift. Oh my gosh, bear shifters. Why did
But
we get back
yeah,
on Twitter, y'all? Like everybody's been like, oh my God, I've been on Twitter. And I'm like, I thought we got off of Twitter. I need
you
to
know
get
we
back
still on
on.
there just snoop. But the book that I am reading is called Mistletoe Meet Cute by Bella Matthews. And y'all, this is giving the Hallmark vibe, but if it was made to a movie, it would definitely got put on Lifetime or Prime because
You know what you
there are four
if you
chapters
know,
in
you
there.
know.
There's four chapters in there, but it like the wits, like it's funny. The family group chat has me dying. Like basically, let me read the premise of this book for y'all to know what's going on. Okay. Falling for my brother's teammate wasn't on my Christmas list. Neither was working for him, but here I am nannying Cameron Moore. Yeah, Moreau, Phillies star quarterback, single dad, and the grumpiest Grinch to ever fill out a pair of gray sweats. He should be the last man that was under my mistletoe. He's too old, too cocky, and too damn tempting. But one snowy night, one reckless touch, and one forgivable kiss have me rethinking everything I thought I wanted. Suddenly, the holidays aren't about twinkly lights and tinsel. They're about a stolen moments, secret touches, and the kind of Christmas chaos that feels way too good to resist. Maybe the best gifts don't come under a perfect bow. Maybe they come with a dirty grins, filthy mouths, and the power to make me forget every single reason why Camden doesn't belong at the top of my wish list.
Oh,
Cute.
okay.
It
We
was
love
good,
you and
y'all.
your little holiday romance.
I
Your little bit of a
girl,
hiatus from shifters.
I sure did. For that good 2-3 days. And y'all, it was worth it. I'm gonna reread it again. It was worth it. They actually met under a mistletoe.
Oh,
Cute.
yeah, that's cute.
And I will say this: if I can't find me a werewolf shifter, any single hot quarterback dads
You're looking for
out
your
there,
own werewolf shifter out in these
that's
streets.
not number one. Number two is if I can't, hey, quarterback single dads, I can be your nanny. Let me know.
And Dory, where can people follow you?
You can listen to me on All the Feels podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts. And we are also still on Twitter. I still check it randomly. So come find us at All the Feels Pod. I am on it a little bit, Bree. I'm like Jazz. You can snoop on there a little bit, but I'm not on it regularly.
Okay.
Yeah, same for me. I mean, every once in a while I post something on Twitter, which my Twitter and Instagram is at awscott21. And I do, yeah, just mostly just kind of look at what people are saying, but sometimes I post something. And for the Hallmarkies podcast, please follow the podcast at Hallmarkies Pod and Hallmarkies Podcast on all social media platforms. If you are listening on iTunes, please leave us a rating and review. That helps people find our podcast more easily. And if you're listening on YouTube, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're always coming out with recaps and reviews, every week, multiple times a week. So you want to make sure you're subscribed. And we also have a Patreon group you can check out and join us for as low as $2 a month. And we have a merch store with TeePublic. So make sure to check that out. We do have special like Christmas merch and Christmas teas. So you can check that out too. And hope you guys have a wonderful, happy holidays and Merry Christmas. And we will talk to you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.